Howdy everyone, Nimby here. Just going out for a ride tonight. Beautiful, cloudless evening. Right into the sunset. Couldn't ask for any better there. Oh, that's a beauty. Oh, there's a bear. There you go, bear. Oh, there you are. He's a young'un. Oh. Where did he go? There you are. He's just a little guy. Oh, I'll watch my back just in case Mom is around. Well, better leave him be. Get my butt out of here. Well, I guess that just shows you that bears around here aren't really that big of a problem. That's a young one though. Probably only came up to my waist. You do have to kind of be careful of the young ones because they're not that smart necessarily yet. They haven't had as many run-ins with humans. An adult bear would have been probably not as stupid enough to cross the road when there was traffic coming. Probably would have waited. But yeah, bears are not uncommon here at all. I've been chased by bears like more times than I like to admit. Rarely they'll actually chase humans though. The only time I've actually been legitimately scared of a black bear, I was out for a run in an area we used to live in called Juniper, and I used to love doing, well, still do love doing my morning runs, but I was actually just starting to get into it back then. I could probably barely do 2K, but you know, whatever. Still really enjoyed just getting out and running in the morning when everything was still cool. And it was garbage day, and I was running up this crescent street along the hillside, and all of a sudden there's a bunch of garbage cans knocked over, and I'm thinking like, oh geez guys, come on, like, pick up your trash. Thinking that I was kind of like blaming it more on the people for just being slobs. Didn't realize that after I got up and around a few knocked over garbage cans, the next one up in front of me was still standing up, and sitting on his butt behind the garbage can was this full-grown black bear, and he was just sitting there munching away on the trash in the bag. Unfortunately, I was already at a full run, and I ran like right next to him. I could have just cuffed him in the back of the head. And yeah, as they tell you, don't run around black bears. They will chase you. It's their instinct. They will try to eat you. And he was quite ticked at me running so close to him, like buzzing by him. So he took off after me, and I was already full out running, so like the only other choice I got now is just to run faster, and it's an uphill and I'm already winded halfway through my run. But man, that adrenaline kicked in and I just put the motor on, and I ran right across this lady's yard, and she was actually watching the bear through her front window eating her garbage. And I come running through her front yard and I leap over her flower bed, which I figure would kind of stop the bear because he's not going to jump it. He had to go around it, so that bought me a good 10 seconds or so for him to make the corner, go all the way to the other end of her yard and around, which he did do. And I ran right up to the door, tried the handle, and it was locked, and I just started hammering on the door like, come on lady, you gotta let me in. And she's watching me right from the front window, not more than 2 or 3 feet away from me. So like I was saying, hammering on this lady's front door as this bear is making the corner around, come nip my butt. She's staring right at me through the window, and I'm like, lady, open the door, it's a bear. And she's just like, I can't open the door, I'm so sorry, I can't open the door. Carport, which is like right around the front. So I run to the carport. I have no idea why this lady won't open the door, just like, you know, I'm quite upset at her at this point. I just want you to open the door, lady, let me in, the bear's trying to eat me. And her van was parked really close to the wall in the carport. And I managed to squeeze between her van and the carport wall and get halfway into her van so the bear couldn't reach me. And he just sat there and paced out the front of the carport, quite ticked off, chomping his teeth. They make this like clicking chomp sound when they're right ticked. And then she comes to this little tiny window just above my head, and she yells out and she's like, I'm so sorry, I cannot let you in. It's not my house, I just work here, I'm the nanny, I'm just here to clean, I cannot let you in, I will lose my job. Like, oh good God, lady. Come on, just let me in. She's like, I can't. So I sit there and wait for a good like 15 minutes. The bear finally leaves me alone, wanders back over to his garbage pile, sits back down. So, you know, I try and sneak out, and as soon as I step away from the van, he gets back up, waddles back down, not like super fast this time, but he's like determined, clearly ticked off at me, and I hide back between the van just like before. So I'm okay, I'm safe, he can't get at me. There's no way he's fitting between this van and the wall. And he's not like super determined, he's not like clawing at me or anything. He just wants me away from his garbage. So finally, the bear wanders back to the garbage a second time, and this time the lady pops her van door open with the remote on the other side of the van. So I quickly run around the front of the van, jump in, she closes the door, and the bear continues to eat. A few minutes later, she comes running out the back door, jumps into the driver's side of the van, apologizes profusely, for which I don't blame her. I mean, she does have her you know, there's certain exceptions, man. If someone's trying to be getting eaten by a bear, you open the door. In my opinion, anyway, I would have totally opened the door. But, you know, I understand. She was, you know, hard-working lady. And we got talking after that, and she was actually quite a nice lady. But she drove me partway down the block, right past the bear, who did not much but lift his head up at me that time. And then, I didn't even finish my run. I just slowly walked home because my adrenaline level was so high. I felt like absolute garbage after. I started coming down from that. But that's the only time I've actually been chased by a bear. I'm not sure if that would actually happen if I drove past a bear on my bike. I don't know. They don't seem to mind vehicles. They seem to be more scared of vehicles. I think it was just really a bad scenario where I was in the wrong place at the wrong time and actually running right to the bear. Really should have been smarter and realized that if the garbage are tipped over, you know, I live in bear country, and there's probably a bear around, but most of the time they come by like before dawn and eat their garbage. And this guy, definitely wasn't before dawn. Like normally a bear knocking over garbage cans would be long gone before anyone's up and the sun's up. Especially a bigger, older bear like that. They're normally don't do that kind of thing. So has anyone, if anyone's had any run-ins with bears, let me know. Or animals of any sort for that matter. The only animals I actually wouldn't want to run into at all up here would be the cougars, the mountain lions. I've only run into 3 of those in my life, and every scenario has been absolutely terrifying. And bull moose. Bull moose are just friggin' huge tanks. I mean, during rut, they scare me a lot more than even a grizzly. I had one that I ticked off, big bull moose in Lac-Lejeune Lake, and we were in a canoe, and it swam clean across the lake, chasing us, and it wasn't hard to outrun him. It's like, you know, it's not super fast or anything, but he just wasn't stopping. He was dead set for whatever reason. We ticked him off good, and he was not going to have anything of it. He was going to catch us, and we managed to quite easily get to the other side of the lake, but he was still coming. He wrecked my friend's canoe. As soon as he got out of the water, he just trampled that thing, just jumped on it like he was trying to squish a balloon or something. Instead, bull moose decided to completely trample our canoe. Broke my friend's fly rod. My stuff fared okay, but he put like a good half a dozen holes through the canoe. Then he just like snorted at it, wandered back to the water, and swam back across the lake. When the hormones are flying, they're a big animal. They won't stop at anything. If you decide to cross them the wrong way, they're gonna square that bed up, and they're probably gonna win. Same goes for grizzlies too, but I think it takes a little bit more to tick a grizzly off, because they realize they're the biggest in town. And they don't, in the big scheme of things, they don't actually get as ornery and irritated as bull moose and rut will. Cattle guard. The cliffs get quite steep here. Everyone totes about the Grand Canyon and everything. This isn't anything grand, but it's still impressive. I grew up just hiking around here, so this is really nostalgic area for me. I've hiked most of this every kind of square foot. Tons of cool history down there. You can see that there's a Tranqullie Creek is at the bottom of that, and there's a really cool slot canyon up ahead. Go a little bit farther, there's another pull out. I think it'll probably be dark enough to head back home by that point. Not so much on a motorbike, but the other reason that moose scare me is they're all leg, and then this massive heavy body, and they're so tall that if you're driving a vehicle or on a motorbike, you're pretty much gonna cook your head, or like go right through the windshield, the body. The legs will break off, and this massive torso goes right into the windshield, or if you're a motorbiker, right into you. And not much you can do about it. It's like hitting a hanging brick wall. So it does cause a lot of fatalities to the moose too. Absolutely beautiful, breathtaking canyon views down this road though. Used to spend a lot of time with my grandfather up here. Tons of history. Up ahead you can see that saddle there. That's the Watching Creek Pass. Watching Creek goes through. Oh geez, there's a car down there. Hopefully it's not new. I didn't see any tracks. Just take a quick second just in case that is actually someone down there. It looks like it's been down there for a while. Yeah, I don't see any brush. Looks like they came right through there. I see no people. You gotta check these kind of things, because yeah, if you go over these embankments, it can be a long way down. Well, hopefully they got out okay. Looks like airbags went off. Be a hell of a tumble though. Cliffs are unforgiving. You get the washouts and edges of the road just kind of let go sometimes. Since it is a park, they don't normally leave vehicles wrecked like that for very long at all, because you're required to remove your vehicle, so they'd call a recovery company. You're required to make sure that all your oil and gasoline and antifreeze and all that's dealt with. Can require you to remove soil and all that. Province deals with that if it's a stolen vehicle. See the creek down there? It's actually a fishing spot I'd hike down to. Need to come out here fishing. This valley we're coming to right now is the one that Watching Creek comes through. The hill on the other side is Opex Hill. And Watching Creek is actually the place where they, well, hand removed for either panning or hand sluice block, the 6th largest gold nugget in the world. It's quite impressive because, you know, people mine gold all over the place and there's been lots of records set. But yeah, this creek has had the 6th largest in the world's gold nugget taken out of it by hand. You can actually pan all the way up this creek free. There's no, well, there's a few grandfathered claims on it, but from Watching Creek down to the mouth of Tranqullie Creek, you can hand pan. It's I don't want to say a park set up for that, but there's no new mineral claims that can be made along the creek bed. There's quite a few along the hillside. This whole area was turned over during the gold rush, and it's quite easy to get a pan full of flakes here. I should actually come up and do that one of these days. There we are. Let's go have a quick boo. Well, the road doesn't look that bad. Definitely darker down here. Well, basically trying to see if I can get my van. Some of these ruts are pretty big. Van down in here with the tent trailer for the kids. I don't think if we went slow enough. The main problem with this area is mud. It fills up with mud quite quickly. That was a butt slapper. Should have bent my knees a bit for that one. Because the actual campsite is in a flat. There we go. Ooh, this is really cool. See what I mean? It's not much mud going in or out. It's just, yeah, quite rutted. Well, yeah, if I got my van's wheels in one of those ruts, it would be done. Okay, yeah, and we wouldn't make it through that mud hole. That's not gonna happen. This is the campground. I'm going to spin around here. I'll try the back road. Yeah, that's pretty much the campsite I would pick. See, it's getting past stuff like this with the van that's going to be a bit of a challenge. There's some beautiful views of the cliffs over that way. Looks like everyone here has got some sort of four-wheel drive. Van's two-wheel drive. And has almost no clearance. Howdy! It's close enough for you. There's a view down there. Not sure if it's too dark for you guys to see without my headlight. Awesome canyons here though. That's just sweet. I don't know what Dragon's opinion will be on this. These mud ruts, you know, I don't know if there's... You can't really go around these things because the trees are in the way. If there was more... Not that I think you should, you know, cut around mud pits like this and just make it wider. That's what everyone did out in the center there. This makes the problem worse. This is pretty rough stuff. I think we would get hung up on these rocks. Yeah, like some of these bigger rocks, you'd have to hit them on the tires or they'd get stuck. we could make it down here, this is the nicest stretch. This is normally the driest. That other one on the far side is the worst. It's almost never used because of that. Should be fine just going through the center. Let's see what that van and the trailer behind. I don't think I can make that corner without having to go inside these ruts. That's why the ruts are there, because the trees kind of guide you. You're going to clip your vehicle on. The nice thing about forestry campsites like this that are rougher to get into is it keeps a lot of the partiers out. You can see everyone that was in there had a pretty good sized four-wheel drive, unfortunately. But yeah, just across the campsite there, the other side of that cliff there, that's where the 6th largest gold nugget was found.